to the final episode of After the After Hours with your boy TraderPrad. The final day of this week is tomorrow going to be a free fall Friday. Now get ready for tomorrow. Powell going on the microphone. Powell going on the microphone again. Get ready for tomorrow. So I do have a watch list ready, but if you guys are ready, hit that like and subscribe. Hit that like and subscribe. Thank you guys for all the love. Thank you guys for all the support. This is your boy TraderPrad. But if you guys are ready for this show to get started, why don't we dive into the full screen and hit that like and subscribe. Yo, what's up people? How we doing? Hopefully you guys are having a good day today. Let me bring the volume down here for the music. All right, music is coming down. I was gonna record a video instead of go live, so I'm a little unprepared. Because I was unprepared to record the video, I'm also unprepared for the live, so I don't really have the chats open anywhere. I don't know if you guys are here. Probably not. No one's here anyways, most of the time. But if you guys are here, I don't have any chats open, just so you know. I'm just gonna go through the stream like I usually do. And we're gonna just run through everything, see my trades, and show you guys the watch list for tomorrow. So if you are interested in anything, do put it up in the chat and I'll go through the chat at the end of the stream. And I want to see how much quicker I can get through my content, because this way maybe I could record videos instead and upload them instead of going live. It will probably save me a ton of time. You know, I don't have to waste explaining things to you guys like this and just trying to interact with you guys, even though there's nobody to interact with, right? So the overall idea is to just kind of give you all the stock content that I have to provide, and then just get it over with, get that job over with. And I think the best way to do that might just be in an offline video format instead of doing it in a live format. Okay, so we're gonna try something if somewhere down the road. What happened over here? These didn't light up as they should. That's pretty sad. Wait, is this? Why didn't? Oh, it's because that emoji in the front. Ay caramba, those emojis in front of the symbols kind of ruin the symbol. The symbol highlight for me. Oh well. Something to learn through the tweet over here, or maybe I could even remake this tweet right now if I wanted to. Nah, I'll just leave it as it is. Anyways, you guys can see right here with the indication with the date and green symbols right next to it showing you that I had a green day. Red symbol showing you that those are the ones that I did not make money on. Green symbol showing you the ones that I did make money on. Let's show you guys the good trades on the day for me. Let's start with HIMS. HIMS was a monster move today off the open. They had some sort of a news that catalyst took it right back to the upside. $67 coming into play. A false breakout of like 66 and 67 combined. A one-shot move from 65 to 66 to 67. This is all 1 minute candles. So one-shot move from 65 to 66 straight away, and then that giving you a little bit of a false breakout with no follow through. Buyers tried to step up and then they got cracked, and just a straight move right to the downside all the way back into yesterday's low. So monster retracement, multi ATR retracement, so dropping multiple ATR. I think actually like 2.5 or even 3 ATR moved straight to yesterday's low, giving you an opportunity to look for a long. You could draw maybe some trend lines over here, and you can see how the trend line breaks right around where I start entering into this position. Also, you have a very basic support right above yesterday's low. The stock is not able to get below it. It has a little bit of a buying above that previous support area, and then you also have some sellers right above it also into $56. So sellers trying to bully the stock lower, and buyers coming in, maybe even short sellers, you can say, taking profits from their earlier shorts in the day, giving you that oomph, giving you that pop to the upside, and that allowed me to quickly capture. You know, I was risking like 50 cents on this position and getting more than 50 cents out of this trade. Obviously a 2:1 risk to reward, a nice clean trade, and at the end getting stopped out on my last few shares that I had left. Next move, the stock gives you a double bottom, beautiful double bottom, bounces right off of touching the lows. But sadly, you get a lower high. Now the EMAs, the 9 EMA on the 5 minute, the 21 EMA on the 5 minute are still sloping to the downside, and the stock may have created the same bottom, giving you a double bottom, but the lows are, sorry, the highs are still lower and lower each pop, showing you that the sellers are continuing to move lower. At least the main seller is continuing to move lower from the starting of the day. At least, you know, that's how the picture of the chart ends up looking like. So considering that, I sized less on this long. Eventually focusing on, you know, how the stock is just not able to move higher at all. It tried to bounce again off of this low. This actually looks very much like a bouncy ball setup that Lance calls it, which is basically looking for a stock to create a flat bottom, at the same time give you lower lows, or an inverse bouncy ball, which would basically be either at VWAP or at the high a day. So you're getting that bouncy ball effect where the stock is trying to bounce off of, let's say, like a gravity, right? If you bounce a basketball or a tennis ball, whatever, if you bounce a basketball, you see how it will bounce multiple times, but each bounce, the velocity of the pop is not as high as the previous pop, and gravity pulls the stock right back to the downside, or I should say the ball right back to the downside. Eventually, the ball does manage to break the ground and push lower. So that's, in this case, that's the stock. The stock manages to break the support, break the ground, and push lower. You do get the perfect 1, 2, 3. I started the SMB capital way, which is start on the pop and then risk the previous pop high as your stop. So I started the SMB capital way, and then on the way down, as the stock starts to show me more reasons to add into the trade, quickly adding to the trade and getting aggressive with it, allowing me to capture on a beautiful short move right into $54 or so, and having a nice you know, trade to show for. Sadly, there wasn't much follow through over here. It does pull back right to the breakout level and then just trade sideways around the breakout level, but you know, sometimes you don't get the follow through, sometimes you get a lot of follow through. Keep in mind, the stock did just come from like what, $67 today at 9.45. It's at $56, $57 now, so a whole $10 move to the downside. The stock's ATR is $4 something, $4.50. Let's just round it up to $5. The stock basically did a 2 ATR move from the starting of the day till like going into close. So expecting a bigger move was maybe a little optimistic for sure. However, recognizing the trade, recognizing the opportunity and taking advantage of it, pattern recognition. You'll only be able to do things like this if you've seen it again and again and again. You know, you're cataloging these moves, you're making notes of these moves. That's what I do when I'm off stream. I try to you know, catalog moves like this, which is exactly what I'll do today. I'll have to write up on HIMS, these couple trades, even some trades over here, and next time I see these patterns, I'll be able to capitalize on it exactly the way I did over here. Just a couple tips for you, learning from the best himself. Lance B. AVGO breaking out to a new all-time high today, and on pullback showing you support above the previous all-time high, which is that 250 251 area. So continuous back and forth right off the open. Actually, there was a seller at 250, and as soon as that seller broke, the stock ran up like multiple dollars, and it was insane to watch that happen. I didn't have it in me to punch long on the break of the seller because it was way too close to the open, but you know what, if you were looking for a move like that, you could have done it right off the bat there. However, I think the way I traded AVGO later on is basically waiting for the opening range 5-minute high breakout, and that happens right around 9:45-ish or so. You get the opening range 5-minute high breakout, stock never gets back below VWAP, giving you a monster move to the upside. I also pull up AVL, which is a leverage ETF for AVGO. The volume is actually trash on AVL, but you know, considering there is a leverage ETF and I could take a little bit more volume than I can on AVGO itself directly, constraints regarding buying power and risk allocation in general, so I figured I'll just do this instead. I'll take more size on AVL, and I will add to the trade. So right here would be the spot to add to the position, and you can see that's exactly what I did on AVL. I add on that move higher, capitalizing on AVGO. Even though AVGO does manage to go much higher from my exit, I am able to capitalize it on AVL, and the setup is as simple as an opening range 5-minute high breakout on earnings names. Sorry, not earnings names, on a stock that's above all-time high, on a sector that looks like very much in play today, the semiconductor sector. ON, AMD, ARM, SOXL in general, all semiconductors in general were going up today. So AVGO, a stock that's reporting earnings sometime this week, I think tomorrow after hours or Thursday after hours, making a move above its all-time high already, just makes it, you know, a little bit more bullish. Hopefully we'll see that's how it sets up. Sadly, that's not how it's set up for a stock that's #1 on the watch list for tonight. CrowdStrike was breaking its all-time high before its report, and today after the report did pull back 6% or so. We'll talk about that more in depth after we finish talking about the next few stocks on the day here, which are actually red on the day for me. So HIMS and AVL/AVGO, my best two trades on the day. HIMS, I'm able to go back and forth. I catch the longs and the shorts. AVL, I'm only interested in the short, or AVGO, I'm only interested in the short, maybe because I am also buying these names on the swing account. So I have some AVGO. I actually took some profits on AVGO because I have it from like 230 or whatever. So I took some profits on AVGO, but I added AVL. That way I still have the same exposure, and if AVGO continues to go higher, I'll be able to capitalize on it on my swing account through AVL. And I was able to get out of my CrowdStrike swing position for basically break even I might have taken some loss on fee conversion rates and so on, but overall basically a flat exit on CrowdStrike because of its earnings report move to the downside. I don't even know how the stock reported because we'll dive into that on the stream over here. Let's talk about Robinhood first. Robinhood, my first red name on the day. I was looking for a similar move like AVGO on the opening range 5-minute high breakout. Sadly, that breakout doesn't have any follow through at all. Robinhood is also being added to the swing account today, so I'm happy that the stock managed to trap some shorts and then go right back into a monster move high today, 6% up almost. Hopefully it didn't pull back and stayed 6% or higher on Robinhood. My goodness. Okay, but overall, the swing account was looking good, but the day trade getting hurt on Robinhood over here as it's not able to show me what I want to see. Honestly, the pattern on the breakout over here is not the cleanest. This is not a good 5-minute opening range breakout pattern at all. We're making a one-shot move from 69.60 to 79.60, 79.50 on the 1 minute without any real back and forth into the opening range. It's not like it's a F setup, right? It's probably a D setup, but taking as much size as I did and giving it the risk as far as I did is probably not the smartest idea. Also, not looking at the name later on was not the smartest idea. So a couple mistakes over here on Robinhood and taking a decent size loss on it. I was too hyped up after the original AVGO breakout win, so I was like, okay, any breakout I take today is gonna work because I'm just the best at trading. And honestly, the market was going higher too, so I thought it would be in my favor. Taking a look at Robinhood, which was a bullish name, it was breaking out into a new 52-week high. All things combined, I was expecting this to basically play out the way it did, but somewhere starting from here. Sadly, that was not the story. So missing out on this move over here for the day trade, but capitalizing on it on the swing account. Last but not least, CRWO. A pretty bullish move yesterday in the after hours itself, and we talked about this name on what to look out for, and thankfully it did give you, or me I should say at least, exactly that. I was looking for the stock to hold above in this area in the pre-market. It held exactly in that area in the pre-market, broke out of that off the open, or actually it might have done that opened a little bit higher. No, it did go off the open somewhere off this area, but right into $80. You had a seller not letting the stock really push above 80. It does go to 81 something or 80 something, but after that original push and pullback, it's not able to get a single cent above $80, showing you that there's a seller over here, but at the same time there was a buyer here too. Perhaps what I could have done is just waited for the wedge to break, and if I waited for the wedge to break, that would have given me a short trade. That short trade possibly triggering right here around 77.50, and you capitalize on a move to $75. Your risk was probably 50 cents for a move back above 78, and once you do take that short, a beautiful move. Quickly, however, that bounces right back, so depending on how you take profits and so on, later on I do get trapped into another couple attempts on the long here. I was in the money about $2 per share. I'm long 78 and the stock goes right back into 80. So I'm long and I'm in the money $2 per share, but I was distracted with another name. I'll be honest, I think I was distracted with French Open. I was watching Roland Garros, that's how you say it, Roland Garros. French Open, who was it? I can't remember who I was watching play. Francis Tiafoe? I think that's who I was watching play. Anyways, getting distracted and missing out on taking profits on that move back below through 79, move back below through 80, and honestly there was a short here that you could have potentially capitalized on and taken a move all the way to the downside to $73 and so on. So possible gap fill coming into this name, and then we could look for some sort of a bounce. I mean, that earnings report's still pretty bullish, and the PE is now around 200. I think last night when when we checked it was 4,000. Now it's around 200. Don't quote me on that. I can't remember if it was CRDO that it was 4,000. Maybe it was something else. But anyway, CRDO reporting earnings, flushing to the downside. Watching this one without a doubt tomorrow for some sort of a day 2. Today, however, getting beat up on this bad boy. Absolutely getting destroyed. So my biggest loser, CRDO. Second biggest loser, or not second biggest loser, biggest loser, CRDO. Yeah, second biggest. Silver medal to the losing side, Hood, and Hims gets a gold medal, and AVGO and AVL get the silver medal to the upside. That is overall my trading on the day today. Hopefully a couple ideas for you guys to look out for on what to do and what not to do next time when you see setups like that for yourself. Quickly take a look at our good friends over at Centerpoint, Clear Street Centerpoint. Amazing broker. If you have $30,000 or more, I think that's what their minimum requirement is. Do go check out Centerpoint, especially if you're an active day trader. Even more so if you are trading small cap stocks and so on. So do go check out. Not a sponsor, by the way. I am not affiliated with them at all. Anyways, couple stocks that moved up today. Holy 500% move. MCTR. Yeah, I know someone, well, I don't know them personally, but I know someone on Twitter who posted a $800,000 loss today on this name. So insane move. MCTR up 500%. What? Okay, where did we start today? $6. A nice cup and handle. That's your handle, that's your cup, and you basically could have gone long somewhere in this area, right around $13 or so, and an insane move to 30, 49, 50. I mean, what are we talking about? It is absolutely destruction mode for short sellers. Wow. Hold up, let's draw that back. It is absolutely destruction mode for short sellers right now. In the stock market. This stock is only 132 days from IPO. Is that even IPO? Like, what in the world is that? So 132 days from IPO and absolute launch territory to the upside. What just happened over here? Well, we do know shorts got bent over and spanked, absolutely spanked. So watching this one tomorrow for some sort of a hype for sure. Put that one on the watch list. MCTR, yep, that one goes on the watch list. The rest of the stocks over here, I did scan them. Not as interesting as you'd think they would be. Maybe Joby it is worth keeping an eye on if the drone sector does come back into play. Joby, RCAT, and all these names are for sure worth keeping an eye on. UMAC making a 20% move today. Okay. Looks like some of them do want to get active again, but I'm going to ignore that one for tomorrow and just basically go through stocks that report earnings tonight after hours, because we do have a bunch of them. Some stocks that report earnings tomorrow, pre-market stocks that already reported earnings for us this week or last week, and couple other new space movers. So let's quickly go through some of these movers over here, starting with actually MCTR. Now obviously this is a monster day one squeezer move. Anything can really happen over here. So watching this one, don't have any hard set game plan for now. I think the higher we go, obviously the better it is for the shorts, but you can see how the shorts have been spanked so far, and you might want to be careful. So ideally the stock opens up much higher and is not able to stay above its opening price. At that point, I am only looking for a short. Ideally it's also below its VWAP tomorrow at some point, and then I can look for the short. But if the stock is looking, you know, looking bullish, looking strong, looking like it wants to continue to go higher, then I want to be a little careful on this one for sure. I don't want to be messing with trying to get short squeezed on MCTR at all. My stream might be laggy for some reason. I can see myself being slow on the camera. I don't like it. I don't like the stream being laggy. And this is one more reason why maybe we just need to turn off the vertical stream, and that might solve everything, honestly. Okay, MCTR obviously on the watch list. CrowdStrike making a move to the downside. We don't like to see that one because they had to push us out of our trade today. So let's quickly go read CrowdStrike's earnings report. 1.10 billion versus 1.16, 73 cents versus 81 cents. So missing EPS. Missing revenue, total revenue up, however, 20% year over year, and subscription revenue also grew 20%. Annual recurring revenue increased by 22% after the company added $193.8 million to its average recurring revenue in the quarter. Net cash generated from the operations $384.1 million, and free cash flow $279.4 million. Ended the quarter with $4.61 billion in liquid cash, or at least cash and equivalents. Let's look at the outlook. Outlook is coming in at second quarter revenue 1.145 billion to 1.52 or 152, sorry, versus 1.23. So also missing estimates for the next quarter. Second quarter EPS 82 to 84 versus 92, and missing EPS also. Does the full year look good? At least full year guidance coming in at 4.74 to 4.81 versus 4.77, so kind of in line overall. 3.44 to 3.56 versus 3.43, so that's basically a beat overall. Did they actually raise? They raised the EPS guidance. So did they also raise the revenue? Okay, so they raised revenue a bit and they raised EPS. EPS is now above estimate. The low end is a penny above estimate, so guidance still looking good. The company's still growing 20% year over year. They make about $3.50 a year, so that's not bad at all. Quickly go check out what the PE is on this name. I wouldn't be surprised if it's in the hundreds. I'll be very surprised if it's in the low 50s. It doesn't even exist at all. But forward PE is 106. How does a stock, did I look up the right name? How does a stock that has $3 per share not have a PE? How does that work? Anyways, no PE and a forward PE of 107. So basically I was right by saying that PE could be above 100. I think the fact that they missed revenue and guidance for the current quarter was enough of a reason for people to sell off. The second quarter guidance is also not good because they are guiding lower, but the full year was raised. So if you're looking at the bigger picture, there's only what, 6 months left in a year. The second quarter probably doesn't matter at that point, right? The second quarter is peanuts at this point because the full year they're expecting still growth. So at the stock, however, the stock did pull back 6%. It did pull back below its rally through the all-time high. So keep an eye out for it. It could give you some short opportunities tomorrow. Not that it's ridiculously extended, but there could be some people who don't really like the fact that the stock missed and is guiding lower for the second quarter. You might see some profit taking coming in, some short selling piling back in as the stock looks to be failing an all-time high breakout. I'm putting that in quotes because it's not really failing until we pull all the way back into these areas for me at the very least. So we'll see, keeping an eye on it for sure. I wouldn't be surprised if the stock does have a long trade tomorrow on some sort of a dip. Maybe this is just me talking, being wishful, being hopeful, looking for a long setup again. But the main reason why I'm saying that is because of this energy being built up in this area, you're basically stair-stepping up. When a stock is stair-stepping up, it's hard to knock it down in just one straight swoop, and you need some real bad news for it. And I don't think that earnings news was that bad of a news, right? When a stock goes straight parabolic, for example, this stock was at $31. Now you're watching it go to $40 in the next few weeks, in the next few days. Another one, Zscaler. Zscaler was $240. Now you're watching it go to $300. Just three straight days up to the north side. CoreWeave, for example, it IPO'd in March of 2025. In May 2025, from $30, you're watching the stock at $150. So another parabolic name. So you got some good stocks setting up for day trade swing short, even for you know, yeah, I did say swing, a day trade short and also a swing short for some of these parabolic names. Palantir was once in the same area. I mean, right here is where you are at with CoreWeave right now. So CoreWeave could still keep going a little crazy. Ideally, these stocks start to show you the backside around Wednesday, around Thursday, when it's getting closer to options expiry, and if you are able to spot like a gamma wall and so on. So let me see if I can actually find any gamma detail data on CoreWeave. CRWD, there we go. I'm expecting 150 to be a wall, and it was, but it's not as big as 135 and all the other ones was. So you can see what's happening right now. So there was a lot of options, and obviously the stock being above all of these options, you're seeing the delta hedging come into play, where the options writers are now having to go out into the open market and actually buy the shares of this name, as they are now going to be out of the money the longer the stock is above these prices. So they have to go buy those positions so they can be delta neutral, and the longer time we spend above 150 going into the option expiry this Friday, the more crazy the stock can get. So 150, 160, 165, all these levels are important for tomorrow, for going into this Friday, and the second we start spending a little bit time lower below these important levels, going into Thursday, going into Friday, that's when you'll see the options unwinding, which is where, now that the stock is no longer above 150, they don't need to be delta, or they don't need to keep holding the shares. So now they'll dump the shares that they bought, and now you'll see the unwinding coming into play, where the stock just starts dumping right back to the south side. So a lot of options squeezing happening. AI craziness also behind this name in play. So obviously on watch without a doubt. Keep an eye out for this one. But CrowdStrike is not one of those names. CrowdStrike is not one of those names that went parabolic. It basically stair steps. So I wouldn't be surprised if we find buyers on a dip buy tomorrow and it bounces right back up. So keeping an eye on all scenarios on this one. HPE, another name that reported earnings today after hours. Let's quickly go scan that report. By the way, the software, for those of you who are new to the stream, this is Benzinga. Benzinga is an awesome tool that I use every single day. Right now you're seeing me use it for earnings report, but during the day trading hours, I'm actually using it for Squawk, for scanning stocks, and for heat maps and so on. So go check out the links below in the description for this awesome tool. Shout out to Benzinga. Hewlett Packard coming in with 38 cents per share, which beat analyst estimates by 33 cents. This is a 15% beat on the estimates. Overall, 9% decrease from 42 cents from same period last year. Company reported earnings of 7.63 billion, which beat estimates of 7.5. This is a 5% increase from same period last year. So a little bit of a mixed basket, I guess, on the growth from same period last year. EPS is down, revenue is up. I would like to see if there is any guidance that we can find. Okay, why wasn't this the better report? What the hell? Okay, revenue up 6%, guidance coming in at the third quarter 8.2 to 8.5 versus 8.85. That's a little bit lower. 40 to 45 versus 56. That's also lower. Enterprise expects full year now to be 7 to 9% growth. Company also raised the low end of its guidance for the full year. So similar story to, I guess, CrowdStrike, where the second quarter is going to be lower, but the full year is going to be better than expected, at least I hope. Prior now expects 1.72 to 1.9 versus 1.7 to 1.9. Analyst expects 1.79. So yeah, pretty much basically the whole CrowdStrike idea with HPE also. And the stock actually made a move higher, even though their report was not that good, right? EPS was I guess year-to-year EPS was a miss, but compared to estimates, EPS was a B, and full year they're also raising. So I guess the market liked that alone. The stock is still below the 200-day moving average, so that's not really the most bullish thing to see. But as long as the stock is able to find buying above this $18 tomorrow, let's quickly go back to the 5-minute chart. You can see how it's already staying above 18 on each single dip above this on the earnings move over here. So 18 will be that main inflection level tomorrow that I'm going to keep an eye out for. If it's able to stay above 18, honestly, I think we might even see the stock staying above 1850 tomorrow in pre-market, and then you possibly have to look to see if there's a breakout into 19, which I don't really want to look to see, because 19 would be 200-day moving average. You'd be taking a breakout into 200-day moving average on a not so bullish earnings report. Yeah, it's a positive report, but it's not the most bullish report. It's not like CRDO where they reported 179% growth or something, right? It's a normal 20 or 15? 6%, sorry, normal 6% growth. So not really anything outstanding over there to keep an eye out for. Okay, coming back to the stock, however, if it does stay above 18, the PE is actually something to keep an eye out for. PE is 9, which is not bad. So PE is not bad. If the stock does get above 18 and even into 19, gives you a good pattern into 19, I might just take advantage of that. But a dip buy into 18, 18, 18, 18, 20, 18, 30, 18, 50 would be much better to look out for the long tomorrow for sure. GWRE, never traded this name. Oh my, $200 name. Okay, Guardwire Software, now it's at a much higher price. What is this name? What did they do? What the heck? Never even seen the stock before in my life. From 2012, it's been on the market much longer than I've been trading, and basically breaking above an all-time high off the earnings report. So monster move over here. That is a picture perfect break of the all-time high on the report. So obviously watching this one, I don't think I even need to waste my time reading the report on this one at all. So just look for dip buys, look for opportunities to get long. I want to go check, however, what is the PE? GWRE. What do they even do? Never heard this company. No PE, 81 forward PE, and a blast stock. What is the average volume on this stock? No volume at all. 700,000. I guess 700,000 not that bad, but it's a $200 name. No volume. That means it's gonna be very illiquid. So I mean, I'll for sure be watching it, but it's just got my attention off the move overall. I might have to read the report on my own spare time, but I don't think I need to, you know, show you guys more on that side. A very clear picture over there. Just look for dip buy longs. As long as the stock is above its previous all-time high, it's only longs for me, unless it's very, very, very extended tomorrow off the open. Then I might be looking for some sort of an intraday short. Asana reported earnings, but looks like it got stuffed right back off the earnings report. It tried to rally first, but then got stuffed right back. On that move, I think that kind of makes me disinterested, whatever the word is for not interested. So going back into this range, I don't really care. It's still above the 200-day moving average. I don't really care. For me to look for the short, the stock would need to be trading in this area. So that move back kind of makes it boring. Had it actually continued to go back up, then obviously that makes it a lot more exciting. This move makes it a lot more exciting for the trade, given, you know, what the market's doing at the moment. Market's trying to get above that little consolidation high that I was talking about. If you pull up S&P 500, that is a breakout. So market is trying to go back to the all-time high at the moment, and if you are getting stocks not doing that exact same thing, then you don't want to be holding those names on the day trade, sorry, on the swing trade, but B, you also don't want to be keeping an eye on those names for the day trade. Look for stocks that are going in the same direction as the market's going, because they can really give you an extended move, a multi-ATR move that you will not even be expecting it. So ASAN, Move back down, boring for me. I think a move back up, I'll for sure keep an eye out for that one. Base, if I remember correctly, base for a low volume stock, a low price stock trades very low volume, and I am right by saying that. This is crunch base, and there was no move after hours, so I think this one's going to be an irrelevant name for tomorrow. And sadly, that is where our watch list ends for names that report earnings tonight pre-market. There are a couple names that report tomorrow pre-market, names like Dollar Tree, which is already making a run before the earnings report. I'm guessing because of Dollar General. So Dollar General, sadly, this move on Dollar General kind of shook me out of my position, and I closed my position for a loss, and I'm missing out on that pop on Dollar General. So whoever listened to me on Dollar General, shout out to you, but I didn't listen to myself, and I closed the position before it got below the 21 moving average, and taking a tiny loss on that position. Wah wah wah. But would have been nice to hold it for the earnings report and catch that pop. However, Dollar Tree is reporting tomorrow pre-market, possibly another extension off of this report or a retracement off of this report, so keep an eye on this one. CXM, if I remember correctly, was supposed to be a buyout, but I think the buyout fell apart. Anyways, it's another AI type name, Sprinkler CXM. Keep an eye out for this one. How a possible good trades, usually good setups, at least the ones that I remember trading it in the past. If those setups come into play again, or opportunities come into play in general on this name, I will be keeping an eye out for it. So CXM also on the daily chart, reclaiming the 200, not bad at all. Reclaiming the 200. Maybe we can go to the 1 week chart here and see how that looks. 1 week chart also giving you a base at the moment, but 1 day chart looks a little bit better than the 1 week chart. That basically means that maybe a little bit more time if you want to look for the day trade, so on the swing trade. Ooh, belching. Okay, Dollar General, nice little move off the earnings report. I think a pullback into 110 and showing some support into the midpoint of today's low will be somewhere to keep an eye out for, especially for the swing account if you want to rejoin the stock. So 110 is basically today's midpoint. So today's midpoint 110, I want to see support on a pullback. If we're not holding above 110, then at least hold 106 and 110, somewhere between that range, almost like what Elf Beauty is doing, right? Hold between the midpoint and the earnings day low, and then when you do reclaim that midpoint, that's when I will be looking to get long and risk this low. So I have orders to basically waiting to get long above 116 on my swing account. I might even keep an eye out for Elf to do something special tomorrow if we do get above that 116 on this name. So let me just, since we're already here, mark it to on my chart 116 to keep an eye out for. So Dollar General 110, ELF 116. SIG, another name that reported today pre-market, or maybe yesterday after hours. Today pre-market, but nothing burger move, sideways move overall. But I do want to say, hey, your boy Prad called it. I did say this looked very much like a Elf Beauty, where the stock is below the 200-day moving average, and its positive earnings report might take it right back above its earnings 200-day moving average overall. So nice pop, but the overall sideways move. So I don't think I'm really too excited as a day trade on this name. Expecting the volume to also die down big time tomorrow. There's better names for day trade for sure. CRDO, CoreWeave, APLD, Zscaler, Hood, Palantir, Microsoft, Meta, Tesla. So some of these names out there will be a lot more important for a day trade tomorrow, trust me, than maybe CXM or even Dollar Tree or any of the other names we just mentioned. So let me quickly cover some of the big names over here, the big ticket names. CRDO, one of them, watching for a possible long setup. If today's low is holding. If it does not hold today's low, then looking for a gap fill for a swing trade and for the day trade. So let me just quickly mark CRDO as a high important color for tomorrow. Core weave is another important color. Core weave is for mean reversion would be great, but I don't think the stock is there yet. There could be more upside, and then you possibly get the first red day. It looked like this could be the first red day, but this basically blows out a lot of stocks, so you want to be careful. But for sure, watching core weave without a doubt for some sort of a mean reversion opportunity, because the ATR is a little crazy at the moment. It is going nuts, so possibly could give you a mean reversion intraday, but I don't think that mean reversion as a swing trade is just ready just yet, so you want to be careful for that one. APLD looking pretty strong. I asked it to be strong above today's VWAP, and it did exactly that. So once again, any build up of energy above $9.50, I think that would be an opportunity to keep it for long on the swing trade. I think they are also in the same basket as core weave, not CrowdStrike. So APLD, watching this one. Zscaler, I think tomorrow 300 is the important level. Expecting 300 to break pre-market or off the open for sure, but not expecting the stock to stay above it. We were just at 250. So I mean, how far from the 50-day moving average are we? We are 10 ATRs away from the 50-day moving average, and we are 31% away from the 50-day moving average, which is insane. So overall, not expecting the stock to stay above the 300 at all, and expecting a nice little pullback on this name. You don't initiate a long on a stock when a stock is 10 times away from its moving, 10 times its normal ATR away from its 50-day moving average. You simply don't initiate a long when things like that happen. So let the pullback happen, let it show you some buying, and I think that pullback will be right around that 300 failed breakout tomorrow. So Zscaler, high priority tomorrow. You can also look at BOX. BOX is now the first time today, since it's earnings day, I guess you could say, not really. Anyways, first time today where the stock had the same high as the previous day. So this might be a little bit of a characteristics change. So tomorrow, if it has a similar high or it's not able to find buyers above 38, that might be your trigger to get short on BOX for a retracement to the downside. So watching BOX, important level 38. If 38 doesn't hold, there is no long. But if we are holding above 38, I wouldn't be surprised if the stock breaks 38.50 and continues to go to the upside. So be careful if 38 support ends up holding on BOX. Robinhood, I just gotta love this name. My dad loves this name because I told him to buy this stock. I love this name because I bought this stock. However, for the day trade, it was a little sad today, but for the swing account, that is an absolute beauty. This stock is exactly what you want to see from the breakouts of $52. It has never really shown you any reason to close the position at all. It is giving you reasons to take profits, right, but never really a reason to close the trade at all, and giving you multiple reasons to add to your position if you're interested. So adding to my position over here on this breakout, Robinhood could be easily $100 name, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's on its charge towards that price point right now on this great market bull run that we are on. So holding on to my Robinhood shares as tight as I can, and honestly, I might be interested in finding if there is a leverage ETF for Robinhood, just so I can expose myself to a little bit more leverage. HOOG. Let's go see where this is. Yeah, okay, maybe not. This is an all-time high. What was the other one? HOOG. HOOX. Is that also long? It is. Hooks is also an all-time high. And HOOY. I'm guessing also at all-time high, right? Yeah, also at all-time high. All of these barely trade volume, and they are all in the same prices as Hood itself. So there's no point. Just go trade Robinhood. Better liquidity, exact same price. There's just no sense anymore to trade the ETFs for these ones. So Robinhood, nothing else to say. Any pullback above 67, 69, 70, I'm continuing to look to be bullish on this name. Palantir, you know, looking like it wants to start getting above that 135 and really making a run again. So either you catch it or you don't. So you might have to try it a couple times around this 135 area. So tomorrow might be the day if the market continues to keep going higher. So 135 Palantir is obviously important. AVGO, new all-time high at the moment. I don't think there's any day trade over here on AVGO at all. You could say today's VWAP on a pullback into today's VWAP, which is 254. If you do get support at 254, potentially some longs that could play out for you for another move into today's high or maybe more. But I think AVGO's importance tomorrow dies down because the stock does report you know, Thursday after hours. So I'm not sure I'll be looking for an explosive move just before the earnings report. However, CrowdStrike did do exactly that. Meta continues to make some catalysts. Meta reported CEG partnership. However, that moved right back down. OKLO also got slammed back down off of OKLO. Also got slammed back down off of that news catalyst. Wow. Basically hit all-time high 60, or I should say 59, and then got slammed back down. Meta, Tesla, all these large cap names always on watch without a doubt. I think with the market going back up and breaking out, you know, these ones are just stones throw away from joining it. Apple, sadly, I don't know if Apple's gonna be the lover of the market anymore, because you know, people are not buying as many Apple products as I've seen, at least. So Apple not looking so good. But if you are buying the right companies like AMZN, Amazon, Microsoft, Meta, I mean, Microsoft's basically about to break out an all-time high. Okay, so market's about to push into all-time high. Microsoft's about to break all-time high, and usually that's how it plays out. Stocks break, the large cap, mega cap, large cap stocks break all-time highs before the market do. And right now, it's sadly not playing that way because Apple is weak, Nvidia is still below its all-time high. But you know, we're gearing up. We're gearing up for the great bull run. Coinbase making a little bit of a move back up over here. So watching Coinbase as Bitcoin and the rest of the party, rest of the gang is also making a little bit of a pop. MicroStrategy, for example, IBIT, for example, and obviously Robinhood is my new exposure to Bitcoin. And that is basically the watch list for tomorrow. Quickly again, show you guys the QQQ chart as we are trying to break out again, and S&P 500 did break out of that little trend line that I had drawn from the previous all-time high or the current all-time high to the recent consolidation highs. So that looks like a pretty good breakout to me. More continuation into 600 and plus would be wonderful to keep an eye out on the market. Obviously, keep an eye out for obviously IWM and DIA. I usually only look at QQQ and the S&P 500. This UNH getting saved again. UNH still around 300. This could be potentially a good stock to buy some shares in for the swing account and enjoy the ride up. Let's actually go see if UNH has any leverage ETFs. It does not, sadly. So UNH $300 per share if you are interested to get some leverage, some exposure on a name that was beat down drastically. This could be one to keep an eye out for, and I will for sure be thinking about buying some shares on UNH. That is basically the watch list for tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. Quickly show you guys the IPO calendar really quick. See if there is anything important on the IPO calendar. Oh, is that tomorrow? No, tomorrow is the 4th of June. So not thing for tomorrow, but we do have one decent size IPO, Circle Internet Groups. Oh, wait. I think I know what this is. Circle is actually a Discord-like platform that they trade the world, or now they're known as now they're known as Real Trading Prop. They use Circle Internet Group in their internal messaging platform. I think that's what this is. I'll have to do a little bit more research on this, but that will be for tomorrow, so make sure you tune in. Wait, yeah, tomorrow's the 4th, right? Okay, yeah, thank God. Tomorrow's the 4th. Make sure you tune in tomorrow to learn more about that company. Then we got a couple more IPOs over here. Omda Health on the 6th. You have Voyager Technologies on the 11th. You have Chime Financial on the 12th. So some decent size IPOs to keep an eye out for. That makes me excited because IPOs are by far one of my strongest tool sets on the market. So very excited when that comes back into play. And hopefully we get another full 4 years of it with Trump market coming into play. Let's go. Bring in the IPOs. Bring in the reverse SPAC mergers. I can't wait, baby. Tomorrow's econ calendar for 3 stars. We only have one 3-star event. That's at 10 o'clock. ISM non-manufacturing prices. Rest of them are 2-star events. Doesn't mean that they're not important. They're also important, but the influence on the market is usually a little bit lighter. For example, 9:45 S&P Global PMI tomorrow. 8:30 in pre-market, you have Fed member Bostic. 8:15 for any of you pre-market early risers. ADP non-pharma employment for May comes out at 8:15, especially if you're trading futures or the QQQs or the SPYs. That's something for you to keep an eye out for. 8:15 a.m. and then 10 a.m. Those are the 2 important market time periods tomorrow. Besides that, I think it's pretty much smooth sailing, smooth criminal, and nothing really too much to worry about. Quickly, a shout out to all my affiliate sponsors. Traders Insight, you get 15% off. Trade Ideas, also 15%. Trade Sync, 15%. Benzinga Pro, you get 10%. And Flash Research, you get 10% off. Also, consider, well, not consider because it's not really my Discord. If you're interested in learning where I am learning how to swing trade from and directly trade with me and my mentor together, it's with a bunch of other like 100 other people, but a lot of people are posting insane amount of gains in that Discord, and I myself, and I'm showing you guys gains and profits on my swing account right now, and that's all thanks to Real Simple Ariel. So if you guys are interested to trade with us, click on that link right above on the Linktree page. All the links again in the description below, whatever platform you're watching. If you're watching me on Twitter, it should be in my bio, so go check them out. I will catch you guys next time. I don't know if I'll still go live or if I'll record a video and upload the video, but either way, I'll catch you next time, probably tomorrow. I'll probably go live tomorrow again and not a YouTube video because I feel like I'm off my yesterday's mood swing. Yesterday I had a little bit of a temper tantrum and a little bit of a mood swing, but I'm a little bit off of it, but I still hate the fact that anyways, doesn't matter. Let's see who's in the chat. The same 2 people. We got John Vaughn and TH. What's up, baby? How you guys doing? Hopefully you guys had a wonderful day on the markets today and found yourself some good trading opportunities overall. What the heck? I was gonna say there's no way that didn't change. Okay, that's basically the end of the stream. I'll catch you guys next time. Have a good time. The watch list for tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm gonna bring in my big screen over here, back to another brand new week of After the After Hours with your host TraderPrad. I'm doing great. Hopefully you guys are joining me on that great side. Markets are moving around. Might just be a risk on type of day, so let's see what happens. 8 o'clock tomorrow. As you guys know, we do the stream Monday to Thursday, 8 p.m. Shout out to my affiliate sponsors,
Benzinga, trade ideas, the #1 scanner to go to. Trader Sync, promo code down below, promo code PRAD15 to get 15% off. I will catch you guys tomorrow, 8 o'clock, same time, same place. Until then, TraderPrad out. Adios.